Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Looks like we have two of us here thus far. So of course we're gonna wait, let some more people kind of show up. Hope you're having a good day today. Um, and the one person just kind of left. Um, let's see. So as I said, we're just gonna wait for a few minutes, let people come in. Um, I hope everybody's having a good day today. Um, so yeah. La 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 la. And I do appreciate any and all likes and shares. I do thank you for that. Um, Always helps with the algorithm. La 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 la. La 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 la. Let's see now. Huh. Da, da, da. Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's Superman! Superman! Hello, second person. Hopefully, you're having a good day today. We're just waiting on some more people to show up before we get started. Hey, Woody. Strange being from another planet. Yes, he was. From the planet Krypton. Yeah, I saw you were over there on Dory's stream as well. So she's quite a lively one to watch, huh? I hope they'll take me up on my invite there. Hopefully, maybe when they're done there, they'll hop on over here. And who disguised as Clark Kent, mild mannered reporter for the Daily Planet, fights a never ending battle for truth, justice, and the American way. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. So did you fall asleep last night, Woody? Because it's like everybody seemed to just disappear on me towards the end of the stream. I knew I was going a little over, but she definitely enjoys what she does. Yep, she does. You get that impression. Hmm. Let's see. Yeah. So we're coming up on 5 minutes. As I said, I'm just waiting to see who else might show up a bit here. Hopefully they'll hopefully they'll come in soon. So Woody, how'd your day go today? Did you do anything exciting or anything worth mentioning? Hmm. And, yeah, I kind of realized a little late last night that I probably went a little longer than I thought I would on those first articles. That's why I ended up going over. There's a lot to unpack in those ones from Pounding into Comics. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So I guess it must have just been same old for you today, Woody, huh? What would Woody do back in '62? Driving fancy cars, drinking in the bars, playing all the games, picking up the names. What would Woody do? What would Woody do? Hey, Dave, how you doing, man? Oh, and howdy. Hey, Dave, how you doing, my friend? We're just kicking back and just waiting, see if we can get some more people. As always, I do appreciate any and all likes and shares. That does help with the algorithm. So, and Dave with the old joke, morning Woody. We got 3 people in here now. Um, oh yeah. So probably in the next 20, 35 seconds here or so, probably talk about what's on tap for tonight. And Woody said, "Howdy, Dave," and then I beat Mega Man Legends today. Ah, that sounds cool. That sounds cool, Dave. Yeah. All right. Well, we're at the 8-minute mark. We got 3 people in here, so I guess I can go ahead. So I basically have 4 stories tonight. Um, First 2 are kind of related to New York Comic. I don't know if you guys had heard, but apparently one of the vendors got kicked out the other day for not wearing a mask. So I'm going to cover that story, but I'm also going to cover the response from the name of the vendor's company. Um, also, there's a rumor going around that Marvel and DC are going to start implementing a new social media policy. And Dean Cain kind of responds to the confirmation that they're making Superman gay. So that's all that's on tap for tonight. Let's see. I put a new battery in my van today and bought a bottle of cheap. Okay. Well, just don't drink and drive, my friend. That wouldn't be good. Just don't mix the two. Yeah, my thoughts exactly there, Dave. Okay, so now that I've kind of gone over, now that I did kind of mention what's on tap today, why don't we go ahead and get into the stories now? Um, Always, of course, I do appreciate any and all likes and shares. That does help with the algorithm, and hopefully we can get some more people in here that way. So, without any further ado, um, why don't we go ahead and get started here? All right, now I could have done this story yesterday if but I didn't know one that this was even on. Two, initially I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but I know um other people have been reporting on it, so I guess it's becoming more and more of a big deal here. So here we go. New York Comic Con reportedly kicks out vendor for not wearing a mask. Article by John F. Trent um, published on the 9th, which was Saturday. So here we go. New York Comic Con reportedly kicked out a vendor for not wearing a mask. So here's welcome to the biggest insane asylum on the East Coast. Richie S. from Brooklyn, New York. Okay. IDW Publishing's My Little Pony artist Andy Price took to Twitter where he wrote, quote, "So yeah, it's true. A large vendor at New York Comic Con was kicked out today for refusing to wear masks. Not only was it a mandate for the convention, it's mandated by the city." He added, quote, "I feel zero pity for him. Get out." Of course you do, because I okay. So let's get. Not only did Price report the convention kicked out a vendor, but he also reported that security is kicking out attendees for not wearing masks as well. Well, I say, so if they're going to mandate that you wear a mask and you don't want to wear a mask, don't give them your business. That's what I say about it. Don't give them your business. Don't buy the ticket. I mean, don't do business with them. If you don't want to wear a mask and they're going to make you wear a mask to go to their convention or to, do business at their convention, don't do business with them. That's the way you kind of fight back, you know. He wrote on Twitter, quote, "When security catches them, they are I've seen a couple warned and a couple escorted out," unquote. And I guess here's a tweet. Frankly, I wish they'd kick out all the randos without masks walking around too. Just goes to show you that people are a little too scared of this bug. New York Comic Con is requiring individuals to provide proof of vaccination to enter the Javits Center. Their website, quote, "Everyone aged 12 and up will need to provide proof of full vaccination, and those under 12 will need to provide proof of a negative rapid antigen or PCR lab COVID-19 test to enter NYCC." Again, if they're going to start mandating this stuff to attend their convention and you don't want to comply, don't give them your business. You know, if basically if they start losing money because they're basically telling customers that you're not welcome unless you follow these rules, they might decide to change the rules. Um, they don't want to respect your constitutional right not to, one, share your private medical information, two, not be forced to take a needle in the arm just to attend an event. I mean, it's not the end of the world that if you don't go to the event. Okay. um but if they basically that to me, if they tell me that, I tell them, okay, fine. You don't want my business. I won't buy a ticket. You won't have to worry about it. I won't even buy a ticket. You just lost that money that I would that you lost the money on the ticket. You lost for the convention center and for all the business within. You just lost all the money they would make by my patronizing your business. You know, you want to do that? I'll just go somewhere else. I'll just take my business elsewhere. You know, so it adds, quote, "Everyone entering the Javits Center ages 12 and up will need to be fully vaccinated with a vaccine approval or authorized by the FDA or WHO against COVID-19 in order to attend and participate at New York Comic Con and must show proof of vaccination at their time of entry." Not only are they requiring mod attendees to be vaccinated, um, or I guess most attendees do, but the convention is also requiring everyone wear a face covering. The website states everyone is required to wear an approved face covering while attending NYCC, unquote. They add, quote, based on current local and venue health guidelines, this policy applies to all attendees, including cosplayers, exhibitors, guests, artists, and staff. We will continue to evaluate this policy and post updates as they are available, unquote. However, it appears the convention is not following its own rules, as they shared photos of William Shatner, Mary McDonnell, and Edward James Olmos not wearing masks at the convention. Yeah, because let's see what. So here's New York. The NYCC show floor is now open. Meet your favorite sci-fi actors: George Takei, Mary McDonnell, um, Edward James Olmos, and William Shatner in photo ops. And so George Takei must have been the only one. Of course, we know he's a hardcore lib. So the official Ghostbusters Twitter account also showed a shot of the cast at the convention not wearing masks. Can you feel our presence, New York Comic Con? We're moments away from the Ghostbusters after the panel. Oh, great. Now it's saying. All right. Well, let me take a peek. All right. Let's see what we're reading here. Vodka and battery acid. After seeing that picture, they're putting everywhere of Superman in that. Right here. Everywhere of Superman in that extreme kiss. I know I have viscerally battery. All right. All right. Don't let that ruin Superman for you, Woody. Um, that's how they win. Just post straight pictures of Supes and Lois. Uh huh. And don't forget, Woody, we're going to be reading quite a bit of Superman now on Friday night. So you don't have to just rely on some of the modern stuff. We will be reading quite a bit of Superman on Fridays as well as we're going back, looking back over some of the good stuff. Babe, I needed that. Hey, I don't have. To me, Superman will always be George Reeves in black and white. Anyways, yeah, and I know like Decades just had a one of their binge marathons this past weekend, The Adventures of Superman. So I think he meant Lois. It's low. Yeah, solid. It's Lois, not Lewis. Lois, not Louis. Let's see. Son David's response. But don't you understand? Those are the special people. That's why they don't need rules like normal people. Duh. Yeah. Well, Shatner. Shatner. He's kind of more. He leans a little more to the right. So you know, it's like the thing is though is they want him there to bring in the money. They start trying to enforce a mask mandate with him. He'll just tell them, "Hey, screw you. I'm out of here." Like it's 1215 AD up in here. Just pick the potatoes and don't talk to the royalty. Haha, I actually owned a home for a few years on a street called Lois Lane. That's funny, Woody. Uh, the street hot and sassy. Oh yeah. All right. Anyways, let's get back to the article. All right. Um, the cast of the boys were not wearing masks either when they appeared for their panel at the convention. Yeah, they the thing is if they start trying to the thing is if they start trying to make the guests wear masks, depending upon who the guest is, if there's somebody like let's say like William Shatner or somebody like Dean Cain who won't believe in wearing masks, or somebody who's of a more conservative bent, they may just say, you know something, if you're gonna force me to wear a mask, I'm not coming to your convention, you know, and you basically lose whatever money that you could bring in by bringing those guests in. Like what they don't want to do, they've already got them there, and they don't want them to chase them away because then it'd be like, you know, man, we just got these people. Now we're gonna have to refund these people because the stars walked out on us. Toei Animation also shared a photo showing the hosts for their Dragon Ball Super panel were not wearing masks at the convention. Despite the numerous comic book professionals praised, um, despite this, numerous comic book professionals praised the convention for reportedly kicking out this vendor. Star Wars and Doctor Who writer Jody Hauser wrote, quote, "Glad to hear NYCC is taking this seriously. Stay safe, friends." Yet they wouldn't kick out. They basically wouldn't kick out. Of course, they're not going to kick out though the guests who are not wearing masks because, again, then if they kick them out, then they'd have to refund the people, all the people who bought tickets to see those guests. Demon Days Mariko writer Zach Davison wrote, quote, "Well done, New York Comic Con. This kind of thing makes me feel safe about returning to conventions," unquote. Yeah, well, the thing is that the only problem is that yeah, you may feel safer, but you may not make as much money. Dark Ivory co-creator and colorist Ava Hopkins simply wrote, "Good." Well, you won't be saying that if you don't make as much money. What do you make of the report? Bounding into Comics has not been able to verify this report, but has contacted New York Comic Con for details. We did not hear back from the convention at press time. And just to remind everybody, the press time of this article was on Saturday, the 9th. So, and I'm going to actually read the follow up article here. Because actually, the vendor, I guess, did reply, make a statement and reply. Um, Shatner is Hollywood through and through. I don't know. I tend to think that he tends to be a little bit more conservative, though, from what I've heard. I mean, I know that George Takei is very hardcore liberal, and and I know that they don't get along. Short but with a great view. Hypocrisy, everyone hates it. Yep. All right. So, anyways, let's move on. As I said, the next article is gonna be kind of the follow up article to this. We're at the 27 and a half minute mark here. So, anyways, I guess we're making good time. So, we're gonna go ahead and read the follow up article, um, which was done earlier today here. So, this is kind of the follow up article to the one I just read. Invasion Toys issues statement regarding removal from New York Comic Con over reportedly refusing to wear a mask. Article by Spencer Piculi, and that was published earlier today. So here we go. Invasion Toys, the previously unidentified vendor who was reportedly removed from New York Comic Con over one of their employees' apparent refusal to wear a mask, has issued a statement clarifying the events of this past weekend. As previously reported, Invasion Toys was apparently removed from the popular pop culture convention for violating the event and venue's masking respective masking requirements, which required, quote, all attendees, including cosplayers, exhibitors, guests, artists, and staff, unquote, to wear a mask at all times, despite, as evidenced by photographs taken during the event, a large number of attendees, guests, and other vendors flagrantly disregarding the same policies. And we see here, and we saw some of these photos in the previous article. Seeking to, quote, clear things up, unquote, collectible retailer Invasion Toys took to Twitter on October 9th to share an official statement regarding their apparent removal from NYCC. Quote, yes, the partners we shared the booth with failed to wear their mask, wrote Invasion Toys. Quote, apparently they were warned several times, but unfortunately we were not aware of this until it was too late, unquote. Quote, despite several appeals to the coordinators, we were asked to break down and leave, unquote. They added, quote, unfortunately, we had to respect their decision as the rules had been broken at our booth, unquote. So what they're saying here, what this company is saying is that they basically, because somebody else didn't follow the rules, they were punished for it. Now, whether or not they were actually following the rule, now that doesn't really seem fair either, you know. But what I would say to Invasion Toys, if this is going to be how they treat you, maybe then you just shouldn't do business with them anymore. If this is going to be how they're going to treat you. Invasion Toys also noted that said coordinators, quote, assured us this is not a permaban and have invited us back to all Reed Pop events, including NYCC 2022, unquote. Yeah, well, depending upon how you feel about it, I would say, um, if this is how they're going to treat you, maybe you just shouldn't do business with them anymore. Maybe by losing that money from the money you pay them to have the booth, you know, maybe that will teach them not to do these bans, you know. Continuing, the retailer stated, quote, while many other booths, parentheses, we will not name any, unparentheses, were also failing, refusing, forgetting to wear masks throughout the day. We were one, parentheses, of what are told are numerous others, in parentheses, unparentheses, um, that paid the consequences. Quote, it is disappointing to us and our staff, and of course, financially detrimental as well, unquote, said Invasion Toys. Quote, but Reed Pop and the coordinators are just doing their best to keep people safe. We do not blame them, unquote. These these people deserve to get ramrodded if that's going to be their attitude. In conclusion to their statement, Invasion Toys asserted, quote, hopefully this clears up the confusion to the event we can publicly share, unquote. Quote, at the end of the day, there are always multiple sides to every story, but what matters is the outcome, unquote. They ultimately reasoned, quote, this is not the end for us. We are lucky and thankful to have the support of the community and artists who we are proud to call our friends, unquote. Well, okay. Why didn't they kick out any of the panelists, any of the guests? You know? While numerous partners and their staff were present at the booth, Invasion Toys has refrained from identifying the specific individual whose actions resulted in their removal. New York Comic Con did respond to an inquiry from Bounding into Comics regarding whether or not they had removed people from the event. Their response was canned corporate speak. It read, quote, at NYCC and all Reed Pop events, health and safety are our top priorities. We've implemented new guidelines and policies to help support a safe experience. Every attendee, including fans, artists, guests, crew, and staff, are expected to comply with our health and safety requirements, unquote. So, let's see if you guys are saying anything on this. Leto's here. Hey, Leto. Hypocrisy. Hey, Mike, Woody, Solid, and Dave. How are you guys? All right. Sorry I'm late. That's okay. Leto, howdy. Um, yeah, as always, Leto, if you can like and share the stream, that'd be very appreciated. I'm right now just going over a couple articles regarding what happened this past weekend at New York Comic Con, where a vendor got kicked out. Hi, Leto. Are you wearing your mask? What's up, Dave? How are you, buddy? My what? Doing well. Oh, this story. Yeah. Man. Yeah, basically what I say is if these places are going to enforce mask mandates, then maybe you should just take your business elsewhere. That's my message about this. You know. Wear 3 masks, let out, take the newly pastored Merkel. Um, in other words, they rolled over and showed their belly. Yep. The the $10. Okay. The $10 for Mactin is bad, but the $1,000 ivermectin is good. If you collected all 12 booster shots, rumor has it there's a special ultra rare injection that people are looking for. Oh boy. Hidden deep within the mountains of El Povo. Haha. I hear if you get all booster shots collected and you snap your fingers, half of the population unvaccinated will turn to dust. Thanks for the recap, Woody. I was I was lost a bit. Anyways, getting back to the response here. Okay. What do you make of Invasion Toys' response? Let us know your thoughts on so well, I believe they rolled over. All right, there were some comments down here. See what some of the people that NYCC banner is so on the they got screwed while celebrities um traipsed about mask free, yet they are still sucking. Okay, losers. Yep, kind of agree with that. Sounds like a typical PR response. They distance themselves from breaking the stupid rules with the whole partner statement and suck up to NYCC so that they're allowed next year. Yeah, I just say don't do business with these people. Simple as that. You know, whatever money that they made off of you, they lose enough of that money, then this is why I've never gone to NYCC politics. They've done similar to others for years, according to Kat here. I'm still wearing a face diaper is an idiot. They don't do anything. Yep. Not true. The face diaper virtue signals keeps bacterial incubated to increase facial infections and show the government has control on your life. It truly is the biggest insane asylum on the East Coast. Better partners that follow the rules. The point is they won't target you if you listen the first time. Crying, oh yeah, crying about others and don't follow the rules means they haven't targeted them because they are preoccupied with. If they order you to jump off a bridge, will you do it? Them's the rules. So these are some of the comments that people were saying. Yeah, I mean, you really want to stop this? First off, we got to vote in people who will respect. We got to vote people into office who will respect our constitutional rights, for one thing. Also, with when businesses try to pull this baloney, don't give them your business. Find businesses that do respect your constitutional rights and do business with those businesses. Hmm. Yeah, that's actually one of the big arguments that about having everybody wear a mask, Dave, is that it can potentially increase criminal activity because people use masks also to hide their faces when they're committing crimes. So you know. So, anyways, now we'll move on to the next articles, of course. Next couple articles here. Actually, I got to step away from the computer, so I'll be right back, guys. Um, I'll be right back. Got to step away from the computer for a few minutes. As always, though, of course, I do appreciate any and all likes and shares. If you guys haven't done that yet, I'd appreciate help and see if we can get some more friendly people in here. Anyways, I'll be right back. Alrighty then. Let's see. Um, yeah, I got robbed a month after things started running back in Texas. Piss me off. I tell you, the only ones stealing now are the ones that choose to wear their mask. Hope they catch the pricks. They didn't. I never do. Grr. All right. Well, anyways, let's move on to the next article here. A rumor: Marvel and DC Comics to implement new employee social media policies. Um, Now, normally I don't necessarily report on rumors, but this one I'm pretty sure they'll probably having a lot to do with what's happened, like with Joe Bennett, and like most recently, of course, what we've been hearing about with Dave Chappelle. Anyways, article by J.B. Augustine, published earlier today. A new rumor suggests that Disney and Warner Brothers have gotten fed up with what their Marvel and DC Comics employees, respectively, are saying on social media. That okay. That is a rumor put forth by YouTube commentator Perch of the aptly named Comics by Perch channel. And I know this is somebody that RJ follows quite a bit as well. So, who believes that the individual social media policies of these companies are shifting in the background, and that these shifts will eventually lead to a sort of domino effect across the industry. Perch asserts that the change is coming based on recent information shared with him by an inside Marvel source who informed the YouTuber that both Marvel's park revenue and their contracted business agreements are down in the last 2 years, though these particular metrics have objectively been on a downward trajectory for quite some time. And I'm thinking this could be just the way that people, a lot of these SJWs are just talking down to their fans. Let's see. He then explains the concept of double bump, which on a basic level refers to the concept of a company laying people off in two phases, each buffered by periods of restructuring with reduced staff. This usually occurs when stocks take a big tumble at the markets. And actually, that has been kind of going on. We've seen that over the last year or so that actually has been happening. Such double bumps happen all the time and almost always take the public by surprise with news of multi-phase layoffs. And I know that particularly EVS, he was even called it a bloodbath, the bloodbaths. um, Inevitably giving the impression of a sluggish recovery, even if the company remains substantially profitable. We already saw this process take place at DC in 2020 when the publisher held multiple rounds of layoffs across the year. That's what we were just talking about. All of which were aimed at purging most of the publisher's redundancies, editorial staff, and figureheads, including such top executives as Bob Harris and Dan Didio. Those decisions were believed to be corporate ones handed down directly from Warner Media and unrelated to anyone's conduct, least of all their behavior on social media. However, Perch asserts that the wanton disregard for fans and antagonism seen from numerous creators on social media will soon change, as in the comic industry, supervisors of a quote unquote leaner workforce are not ones to tolerate quote quote unquote annoying distractions. And what is irritating, said supervisors, what is irritating, said supervisors, the most is the constant outline online activity seen from their staff. Besides the first-hand accounts given to Perch from people he knows, the YouTuber also pointed to how quiet Marvel editors have been on Twitter as of late, particularly regarding their own personal politics and their social causes, as evidence of this upcoming change. Basically, it sounds like some of the higher ups, even above Marvel and DC, are finally getting fed up with all this garbage and and are finally starting to put their foot down. Um, Not true. Sometimes it just takes a long time. Just look at George Floyd. Took years for that pregnant woman to get some justice. Have I allowed D Dave? That's dark EF. Appreciate that. I did. I know. All right. So let's see now. All right. So here we go. He further contends that when you look at the social pages of Marvel staffers, their latest posts have been more benign and antagonistic, with only a few exceptions. From what he hears, that's no accident, Perch. Perch says it's the result of a directive from their superiors to quote unquote stop it with the quote silliness. And he says we'll see more of this. Far from guidelines, Perch asserts that comics companies could begin to respond to the Facebook and Twitter posts of their so called creatives with potential legal consequences and taking the quote unquote noise and quote unquote friction said social media activity attracts into account, consequently, choose not to work with outspoken comic pros. So basically, what he's saying is that the higher ups are not happy that they're losing money because these people are running their mouths off. And from the sounds of it, sounds like they're basically going, hey, you guys better stop it, or we're just not gonna work with you anymore. We're just gonna lay you off. You know, you want to do that garbage, you go somewhere else. We don't want that here. We want to make money. I think that's basically what they're saying there. Let's see now. Yeah. That is especially true, for instance, for anyone who would accuse another pro of belonging to a hate group. However, if you think this change is being implemented because the publishers care about their alienated customers base, think again. No, I wouldn't say that. I'd say it's because they're losing money. They don't like the idea of losing money. Rather, says Perch, it's being made out of a concern for Disney's own image, as the continued attacks by their own employees would be bad publicity, especially in a mainstream media environment obsessed with both polarizing culture and pointing out how polarized said culture has become. Yeah, the reputational damage also. Um, Bigwigs in Hollywood and New York that could ignore that quote unquote troublemaker social media as long as the spice was flowing and movies gross billions. But as we've seen, that's no longer the case. Yeah, people after being told by creatives and all that their opinions don't matter. They don't care. You're not a fan if you don't agree with me. Well, fine. I'm just going to turn you off then. I'll just turn you off. I'll just take my money elsewhere. I'll take my business elsewhere. As far as where that leaves the consumer, Perch doesn't see the usual neglect and condescension of comic pros and entertainers going anywhere. Though internally, he says the entitled lot are finally starting to realize just how replaceable they truly are. What do you make of Perch's rumor regarding Marvel and DC social media futures? Let us know. Yeah, I mean, the fact that they're starting to lose money, the fact that they're suffering reputational damage, the fact that they're alienating half of their customer base, it's all finally starting to hit them. It's all finally starting to come to a head, and they don't like not making money. We want our money. We want our money. We want our money. But if you have creatives who are basically telling consumers that or customers that you know you're not a fan of us if you don't unless you agree with us. You have to do this to be a fan of ours. You have to do this to see our movies. Most people are likely going to tell you, "No, I don't. You're not getting another red cent of mine. You're not getting another red cent of mine. I'm taking my business elsewhere." Somebody who does appreciate my business and will respect me and not try to shove their opinions in my face or down my throat. Screw you. I'm taking my business elsewhere. All right, so we do have one more article to go through. This time I decided to do it a little on the short end because I know I went over last night and everybody kind of disappeared on me. And we're coming up on 58 minutes here. So we're coming up along the short side of things. As always, I do appreciate any and all likes and shares. How about with that? That'd be appreciated. So we got one more article here to go through. And this is, I guess, Dean Cain interview Dean Cain did with Fox News. So Dean Cain blasts DC Comics making Superman attracted to dudes, calls it bandwagoning. Article by John F. Trent, published earlier today. Bandwagoning, that's an interesting term. Let's see what he has to say here. Former Superman actor Dean Cain, who played Clark Kent in Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman, reacted to DC Comics' announcement that their new Superman is attracted to dudes. Here's a picture, of course, of Dean Cain and his co-star Terry Hatcher, who played Lois Lane in that series. DC Comics announced on October 11th, yesterday, that their new Superman, Clark Kent's son Jonathan Kent, will be attracted to men in an upcoming issue of Superman Son of Kal-El in November. In a blog post, DC Comics claimed, quote, just like his father before him, John Kent has fallen for a reporter. After initially striking up a friendship with reporter Jay Nakamura, he and John become romantically involved in the pages of Superman Son of Kal-El #5 from writer Tom Taylor, Dark Knights of Steel, and artist John Timms Harley Quinn. And when they don't make a lot of money on this, I mean, well, this book's being delayed too, from what we saw yesterday in that one article that they were claiming was due to paper shortages. No, we don't want to see that. They added, quote, following a scene where Superman mentally and physically burns out from trying to save everyone that he can, Jay is there to care for the Man of Steel. The book's writer, Tom Taylor, would then tell IGN, quote, when I was asked if I wanted to write a new Superman with a new number one for the DC Universe, I knew replacing Clark with another straight white savior could be a real opportunity missed. I've always said everyone needs heroes, and everyone. Now, yeah, we read all this yesterday, of course. He added, today's Superman, the strongest superhero, is coming out. Yeah. And then I think we read this. Let's see, DC Comics chief creative officer and publisher Jim Lee also stated, and we read this yesterday. We couldn't be prouder to tell this important story from, yeah. And I think again, the big problem a lot of people do. I mean, if you want to have gay characters, I don't think most people have an issue with there being gay characters. They don't like established characters being turned gay for the purposes of pushing an agenda. You know, the reason they're turning people like Jonathan Kent and Tim Drake and Alan Scott gay is to try to further normalize homosexuality. Try to make it seem, like more acceptable, you know, instead of like just creating new characters. They want to put it, and I know one of the things RJ has mentioned before is that part of the reason why you're not going to see like Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne and all them as much, the older characters, is it's partly due to the fact that so they don't have to pay the original creators for it, but also so they can push stuff like this. He added, "We quote we talk a lot about the power of the DC multiverse in our storytelling, and this is another incredible example. We can have John Kent exploring his identity in the comics, as well as John Kent learning the secrets of his family on TV, on Superman and Lois. They coexist in their own worlds and times, and our fans get to enjoy both simultaneously." Dean Cain reacted to this news during an appearance on Fox and Friends. This, I guess, here's I guess Tony C with and this is her tweet right here. Awesome interview on Fox Friends at Real Kane. Your ideas for a new age Superman comic are fantastic. Fighting for today's truth and justice. And I say your Spanish Oasis looks beautiful, and so do you. Like the day, K. All right. So Kane stated, quote, look, it's hard for me to keep track of all the different Supermen, and the different worlds and adventures he has in the comics. But from what I can gather, it's Lois and Clark's son, John, unquote. Hmm. Oh, boy. Oh boy. Uh, Doctor, there are um, uh, irreparable ruptures in the colon and lower intestines. Shot a hole straight um, through the kidney, left kidney. It's okay. He can't be harmed. His superpower is literally powerful. Oh God. Oh, I can't. You know, so Leto, I almost can't wait for you to do a video on this. But, but then again, for all I know, you may have already done a video on this. Uh, all right. So, anyways, quote: They said it's bold and a bold new direction. I say they are bandwagoning. Robin of Batman and Robin, as you mentioned, just came out as bi or gay recently. Honestly, who is really shocked about that one? I had some thoughts about that a long time ago. Unquote. Yes, sir. And the only thing is with that though, that probably doesn't come quite as a surprise because anybody who knows anything about Batman and Robin's history, and you go back to the 40s and 50s and Frederick Wortham and what led to the Comics Code Authority, that Dr. Wortham actually accused Batman and Robin of being gay in the comics, in his seduction of the innocents. Kane continued, quote, the new Captain America is gay. Um, my daughter in Supergirl, where I played the father, she was gay. So I don't think it's bold or brave or some crazy new direction. They had done this 20 years ago, perhaps that would have been bold and brave. But brave would have him be fighting for the rights of gay people in Iran, where they will throw you off a building for the offense of being gay. Unquote. Kane then questioned the stories DC Comic is telling with Superman. Quote, they are talking about him fighting real world problems like climate change, the deportation of refugees, and he'll be dating a hacktivist. Hacktivist. Whatever a hacktivist is, I don't know. Why don't they have him fight the injustices that created the refugees whose deportation that he's protesting? That would be brave. I'd read that. Now, what he's saying is, why don't they have Superman go to the country that the people are being deported back to and just obliterate the bad people? Quote, or fighting for the rights of women to attend school and have the ability to work and live, and boys not to be raped by men under the new warm and fuzzy Taliban. That would be brave, unquote, he posited. He added, there is real evil in the world today, real corruption in government, overreach, plenty of things to fight against, human trafficking, real actual slavery going on. it would be brave to tackle those issues. Shine a light on those issues. I'd like to see the character doing that. I'd read that comic. Quote, this one, I don't think I'll be reading. I could just watch CNN or MSNBC to get this information, unquote. King concluded. And I know Kane does have Dean Kane does have more of a conservative, feel to him. I know he's done, and we've read some of his other interviews too. What do you make of Dean Kane's reaction to DC Comics announcement that their new Superman is attractive? Yeah, I think he's got a point there. I mean, it's not just simply about. I think he's going after. He's telling him, hey, why doesn't he go after the real evil in the world, not this baloney? All right, so let's see what you guys are saying. We're at an hour and 11 now, so I guess we made some good time. Um, let me see here. Let's see what's going on here. All right, so let's see. Not yet. I'm writing the jokes as you read. Okay. I see. You're so well. I'm glad I helped you inspired a video of yours. That's nice. I hear that Nick will eventually get Dean Kane on the show. That might be interesting to see. Let's see what time. Well, yeah, no, kind of. He knows someone that can get in touch with him, but it's just a matter of scheduling. Okay. Yeah, I could see those two having a good talk. I think they both have um, quite a few views in common there. Let's see. So we have 4 people watching, so that's good. Let's see. From the title of Nick's stream tonight, he was not pleased after meeting with his YouTube. Well, that was last night. I know he did another one where he was, he's not happy because apparently they're saying that, or they were striking his channel because they claimed that he made some comment about election fraud or whatever, and yeah, I missed yesterday's Nick stream. Yeah, I guess you went to bed early, huh? But it's kind of funny. Everybody left. I was basically by myself for like the last. Like I did. I know I went over, but I want to try to get through those articles. But I tried not to overdo it tonight. Just all right. So we're at an hour and we're at an hour and 15 minutes. So we got some time here, guys. Anything else you guys want to ask about or talk about? We're actually running a little short tonight. Nah, I can't think of anything about loud. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know I did a lot. I did actually more anime reporting yesterday than. I know that Hiro Hay was reporting that they're still planning on releasing High Guardian Spice on Crunchyroll. Um, Still thinking about that. Let me see here. Yeah, so I guess Leto, you're right now like just writing down the jokes for that potential video now, right?
It's really offensive for anyone to target them commercially. So
I was just checking some stuff here, going back and checking some stuff. That's why you might have heard some of that. Let's see.
They die. What the fuck is that?
I don't understand it. Well, that was my to be entered into the contest.
How about I just draw one?
Show off.
And I did.
All right. Well, anyways, maybe I'll check back with that. Like, I just want to see if they say anything about like the last message I sent or last on that one. I was watching Dory. Woody and I were both watching Dory Jones Labor of Love, her stream earlier. Okay. Here's that. ah. All right, so an hour 20. So let's see. So I'll ask one more time here. Anybody have anything you want to talk about or ask about? I think if not, maybe it'd be a good time to start wrapping up. We got through the articles already. I got nothing else to talk about. All right. Well, I guess then it'd be a good time to start wrapping up. So we're coming up on an hour 21 here. Sorry, still been missing with these controller settings. Neat it up, Mike. All right. So without no further ado, we're going to go ahead and start winding down here. We're going to go ahead and look back on this day in each history. Today being Tuesday, October the 12th, 2021. Let's go ahead and take a look back at this day in each history. And the first stop we're going to make, we're going to go back 30 years ago today, as on this date 30 years ago today, Demolition Crush. Now Crush, aka the late Bryan Adams, at this time back in 1991, was he came into the WWF as a third member of Demolition during their last tag team reign, which he was filling in for Axe, aka Bill Edel, who was suffering from some health issues. So during this time, he was also splitting his time between the WWF and the NWA territory, Pacific Northwest. So on this date, back in 1991, which was 30 years ago today, Demolition Crush wins the NWA Pacific Northwest title from Rip Oliver in Portland, Oregon. Oliver announced his retirement after the match as a result of a neck injury suffered when Crush put the full Nelson on him en route to winning the title. So on this date back in 1991, Crush, who was known as Demolition Crush at that point, this is the same guy, of course, who would go with the whole Hawaiian gimmick and have the double-handed head crush finisher. On this date he would win the NWA Pacific Northwest heavyweight title in Portland. Now many guys who went on to the WWF did pass through Portland. Many of the guys who wrestled for the Pacific Northwest territory, who would eventually go on to the WWF, would include Jesse Ventura, Jimmy Snuka, Roddy Piper. Buddy Rose was a major star in the Pacific Northwest. You guys might remember Buddy Rose as the enhancement talent in the late 80s, early 90s for the WWF. Matt Bourne, who would go on late, who was the first Doink the Clown. Crush also. Raven as Scotty the Body got a start, or got one of his first big breaks in Portland. So on this date back in 1991, 30 years ago today, Demolition Crush defeated Rip Oliver for the NWA Pacific Northwest Heavyweight Championship. Now we're going to move on to the next piece of niche history. As on this date in 2011, the 45th issue of Northlanders went on sale on this date from DC Comics' Vertigo imprint. So the 45th issue of Northlanders from DC Comics from their Vertigo imprint went on sale on this day it went on sale for $2.99. It was 32 pages. Story was Conversion 999, 20 pages, written by Brian Wood. Art done by Declan Shalvey. Travis Lanham did the lettering, and Dave Craig did the coloring. So on this date back in 2011, which was 10 years ago today, 45th issue Northlanders from DC Comics. And 2011 is just so nice that we're gonna hit it right. Hey, Bat Goat. Need shine. Sup, bro daddies? I won $7,600. Yo, Bats, tonight on bingo. Oh, you went the bingo a night early, huh? For real, uh, for reals, it's bleeping amazing. Sorry, Mike. No, Rom, you can always go back and watch the stream again. Watch the stream again if you want to get a lot of the news. So yeah, but hey, I'm glad you won. I'm glad you had a good night there, my friend. Hey, Bat Goat. I thought though your bingo night was Wednesday, but I guess if you went tonight, that was good that you went tonight. Then that ought to be that ought to get your car fixed up real good. What's up, buddy? How are ya? You're joking. I still don't believe this bleep. Rent that muscle camera. All right. So, anyways, as I just said, the 45th issue of Northlanders. Good call, Woody. I'm renting the sports car next week. Anyways, as I said 10 years ago, so we just did that. Laugh out loud. That's true, Little. Anyway, so moving on to the next, and so I said 2011 is just so nice that we're gonna hit it twice. As also on this date in 2011, the anime GDGD Fairies. It was a computer CG anime produced by Bouncy Studios, licensed by Crunchyroll. They premiered on Tokyo MX. So on this date, back in 2011, on Tokyo MX, GDGD Fairies would premiere on Tokyo MX. So there's that. And then one last piece of neat history. Let's see. Cool Karma loves you, man. Hope more good luck upon you, man. Feels good. I gotta wait for the check in the mail. And taxes will be taken out of it. So maybe 5,000 ish. Still so good. Yeah. I probably lost 2,000 in gambling this summer, to be honest. So we're good now. Okay. All right. So one last piece of niche history, and then we'll be done for tonight. Now here's a significant money aspect to animation here. On this date, 5 years ago today, 2016, becomes the first year where two animated films gross over $1 billion. Walt Disney Pictures' Zootopia and Finding Dory crossing the $1 billion mark. So Zootopia and Finding Dory grossed over $1 billion back 5 years ago today. So there you go. So that's all of niche history for tonight. Let's see now. So Batgo, I'm glad to hear you had a good night tonight. So, so with that, everybody, let me see if there's any announcements here or Nick's show. No, not yet. Of course, I'm sure if Nick is having a show tonight, the notification will probably be coming out pretty soon here. Zootopia, no. That movie was horrid. Modern movie goers are tasteless. It's on his other. Yeah, I know. Rakeda Media, and I think I know, and I think I'm subscribed to that channel too. All right. So, anyways, guys, I thank y'all for being here. Given the title, Nick was not pleased with the results of his phone call with YouTube rep. Mm-hmm. The media, yeah. I mean, it's just past 8:30, so I know, and I think I know I'm already subscribed to his media channel, so, and I know he's doing more of the stuff on the media channel right now because I guess they busted his law channel, so claiming that he made a statement claiming election fraud. So love you all. Peace. All right. So, anyways, guys, thank you again for being here. Appreciate all the likes and shares. Hope to see you all back here tomorrow. And don't forget, Friday, of course, our weekly look back at the past in terms of of back in the historical past of comics history, and Batgoat. Batgoat and I will be looking at Dell comics that went on sale in June of 1938 from Dell Centaur. Let's see. It didn't bust anything. YouTube is just wrong as always. Oh wait, that's right. I think he was saying he didn't want to risk his channel getting busted. I guess. That's right. That's why he's doing it. But apparently, he tried to get them to actually look at the video all the way through and show him where he actually said what they were claiming he said, and they weren't having it. So, anyways, guys, I hope to see you all here tomorrow, and I'll talk to you then. Bye.